Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl B Sparrow, Buzz Tweet Radio Headline News, and I'm trying to tell you, with so much going on in the world today, it seems like all the news and all the headlines are talking about Donald Kingpin Trump. Let me go over some of these headlines. I'm not going to read the stories, but I do have a story. But right now, I just want to read the headline. I'm trying to go back as far as I can. And these headlines are according to rawstory.com. I love Raw Story, man. They keep me in the loop. I get an alert from them seems like every 5 minutes. But most of the alerts are about Donald Kingpin Trump. And a small disclaimer right here. They're not the ones calling him Kingpin. I am. That's Donald Kingpin Trump. Y'all know he's a thug, but the other one is the real thug is Rudy Thug Life Giuliani. Oh my God, there's so many headlines here. I don't know where to start. Let's start with this. Impeachment is a struggle to save democracy for the pathological cult of Donald Trump. He has a plethora of followers. I just wish that I had supporters for my podcast like he has. I mean, they are die-hard Donald Trump fans. It's amazing. It's like they have blinders over their eyes. Another headline reads, 9 conservative groups caught bulk buying Donald Trump Jr.'s book onto the bestsellers list. So see, that's how they support each other. So they went out and bought it and bought the book right onto the bestsellers list. Another headline reads, sex is probably the one thing you can't blackmail Donald Trump over. Still, Dossier producer discusses Russia's and Trump's corruption. Another headline reads, how can we expect Republicans to judge Donald Trump fairly when nearly all of them are in on the crime? That's a good question. Another headline reads, Trump's base is a cult. Rick Perry slammed after saying Donald Trump is the chosen one in Fox News interviews. Oh, I believe I have to read that one. Let me open this one right quick and see what it says. And one thing I do like about rawstory.com, the articles are short, sweet, and to the point. So this one says, Rick Perry. Rick Perry shocked some Fox News viewers when he announced during the weekend that Donald Trump was sent by God to lead the country. The outgoing U.S. Energy Secretary told Fox and Friends host that President Trump was the chosen one. God's used imperfect people all through history, Perry said, naming several biblical figures. King David wasn't perfect. Saul wasn't perfect. Solomon wasn't perfect. Sir, none of us are perfect. David repented of his sins to the Most High. As for Saul, he had no chink in his armor. That's why he fell apart. There was no one to deflate his ego. And according to 1 Samuel 16:14, the Spirit of the Lord departed from him. Saul never repented for his transgressions against the Most High Yah. So the Spirit of the Most High Yah left him, sir. Kind of reminds me a lot of Donald Trump. So I guess you can compare Donald Trump to Saul. The interview, which can be seen or heard was met with scorn and derision. Here's a sample. Someone tweeted, "A man too arrogant, too self-absorbed to seek God's forgiveness is precisely the type of leader John Adams prayed will never occupy the White House." I love it. These white people are beefing. They beefing. Black folk, we can just sit back and watch the show. We don't have to do or say anything. We can just sit back and report, watch the show, sit back, report, watch the show. That's all we need to do. Because these people think that Donald Kingpin Trump is sent by the Most High, which he probably was. But that's not necessarily a good thing. That's not necessarily a good thing, white people. I just want y'all to know that. Everything that's going on, the Most High is allowing it. So you say that the Most High is the ones that put Donald Trump in the chair. The Most High is the one that's going to be the one to kick him out of that chair. Let me see here. After acquittal, we'll see Donald Trump unleashed. So a lot of people think that Donald Trump is going to get acquitted for his crimes against whatever. Franklin Graham rushes to defend president over elitist evangelical magazine attack. He said his father would have voted for Donald Trump. And we talked about that when Mark Garley, publisher of Christianity Today, which was founded by Billy Graham, the late Billy Graham, the Reverend, Garley came out and said that Donald Trump should be removed from office. And he said a few more other things that the evangelical elite did not like, and so they rallied behind him 100%. Franklin Graham rushed to the defense of President Donald Trump from a devastating and damning editorial published. He said his father founded the magazine 63 years ago and would not have approved of the article that Mark Garley written about Donald Trump. It's a mess, y'all. They fighting amongst each other, and I love it. I love it. So the next headline reads, Pelosi's impeachment stall will drive Donald Trump into a rage. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but there are reports that Donald Trump, according to some psychiatrists, has early signs of dementia. They said that he is losing his mind. But, we could have told you that. It didn't take a psychiatrist to tell. We didn't need a psychiatrist to know that in the black community. We knew that he was losing his mind. We knew that he lost his mind. We just don't understand how he became president. We still don't understand that. But then again, it is coming out with the Ukrainian government and the Ukrainian people. So the House votes to impeach Donald Trump for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Now, I don't know what that means. In my mind, I'm thinking that means that he has to pack his and go. That's in my mind. He just got to pack his stuff and go. I thought that's what an impeachment meant, but apparently that's not what it means, because he's still there signing laws, telling lies, still in the White House signing laws and telling lies. That's all they do. So, and then y'all know about the 6-page letter that Donald Trump wrote to Nancy Pelosi. Inside the bizarre crafting of Donald Trump's ridiculous letter to Nancy Pelosi. I don't know why y'all watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. And this is where the drama is, right here in the White House. The drama is right here in the White House. So this 6-page letter that Donald Trump allegedly wrote to Nancy Pelosi, I personally don't think that he wrote it because it was too well written. At least the first few lines was. But after a few lines, I couldn't get through the rest of the letter. So White House lawyers were reportedly left out of the drafting of President Donald Trump's scorching 6-page letter delivered Tuesday to Speaker of House Nancy Pelosi. The rambling letter, which accused Pelosi and House Democrats of engaging in a 3-year crusade to undermine the results of the 2016 election, was allegedly drafted by some of the president's closest advisors, because it certainly wasn't drafted by him. That man can't spell. Senior policy advisor Stephen Miller, Director of the Office of Legislative Affairs Eric Ueland, and Michael Williamson from the Chief of Staff's office produced a draft of the letter without the input of White House counsel Pat Cipollone. Even though he is expected to play a large role in a likely Senate trial, Trump was also revealed to have been very involved in the process. A couple of days after it was first generated, the White House Counsel Office was reportedly given a copy of the document last week and recommended edits and changes. It is unclear if the president incorporated any of the inputs. Senior White House officials told the Washington Post that White House lawyers were not pleased with the letter. They were not pleased that the letter was released a day before the House of Representatives is expected to vote on whether to impeach the president. So he didn't even let his lawyers know. House Democrats have unveiled 2 articles of impeachment against Trump for abuse of power and obstructing Congress. And this reminds me of, what's his name? Laughing Milk? The Senator Barry Milking House, or Laughing Milk, that said that the impeachment inquiries, he compared Donald Trump's impeachment inquiries to the trial of Jesus Christ. Trump was accused of abusing power and obstructing Congress. Jesus Christ was accused of blasphemy and I believe treason, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, back to the article. At the heart of the changes are the president's purported efforts to pressure Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to investigate his domestic political rivals, including former Vice President Joe Biden, and his decision to temporarily withhold nearly $400 million in military aid to Ukraine. In the letter, Trump accused Pelosi of having cheapened the importance of the very ugly word impeachment and claimed that she was declaring an open war on American democracy by pursuing his impeachment. You dare to invoke the founding fathers in pursuit of this election nullification scheme, yet your spiteful actions display unfettered contempt for America's founding, and your egregious conduct threatens to destroy that which our founders pledged their very lives to build. Trump wrote, "It is a terrible thing that you are doing, but you will have to live with it, not I." Now y'all know Donald Trump did not write that. Donald Trump can't even spell egregious. Donald Trump can't even spell nullification. Y'all know he didn't write this mess. The president declared that he had been deprived of basic constitutional due process from the beginning of this impeachment scam. He alleged that more due process was afforded to those accused in the Salem witch trials. And that's what Barry Milkenhouse, Laughing Milk, I need to find out this man's name, but that's what he said that Pilate allotted Jesus. More due process was afforded to Jesus than to Donald Trump. As if Donald Trump can be compared anywhere with Jesus, the man they call Jesus Christ, or if they talking about Yeshua HaMashiach, cannot be compared to him in no way. No way. So we know that Donald Trump did not write that letter, y'all. I don't care what you say. You can show me a video with him writing. That does not tell me that he wrote this letter. That does not tell me that he wrote this letter. I refuse to believe that this man had anything to do with this letter. He probably didn't even read it after they wrote it up for him. You know what I'm saying? I am so tired of people taking up for this man. I really am. I'm telling you, money talks. So tired of people taking up for him and babying him, and it's ridiculous. So since Mark Garley from Christianity Today wrote his article against Donald Trump, stating that Donald Trump needs to be removed from office, newspapers have lined up to demand the impeachment of President Donald Trump. And this article was written on December 13th. I'm just hearing about this. So let me see what this article says. It says, apart from Christianity Today, so far, 52.3% of Americans believe that Donald Trump should be impeached. Major newspapers are following the public outcry as well. The Washington Post, impeach. Los Angeles Times, impeach. Boston Globe, impeach. Orlando Sentinel, impeach. Philadelphia Inquirer, impeach. USA Today, impeach. Tampa Bay Times, impeach. And BuzzTweet Radio, impeach. I just thought I'd throw that in there. So yeah, the Orlando Sentinel was outright brutal in their editorial board piece, saying that the question of whether Trump did something wrong was never in dispute. Of course he did, the editorial board wrote. The President of the United States of this here America got on the phone and asked the leader of a foreign power to investigate a domestic political opponent. Only the most cynical partisan would think that's okay. The question is whether he ought to be impeached for it, and the answer is yes, hunty. The Philadelphia Inquirer opted to attack the president for disrespecting his office and America's founding documents he swore to uphold. In defying these orders and through his continued ridicule of the impeachment process and the members of Congress who initiated it, Trump has severely disrespected his office and the document he swore to protect and uphold. Should this process end with a trial and a Senate vote to remove him from office, a prospect that seems highly unlikely, it's not hard to imagine that he would insist that the process was invalid and refuse to go. The Inquirer editorial board wrote, "Such an act of tyranny is what the Constitution was created to protect against. This is why this impeachment process is urgent and should be moved forward without delay." The Tampa Bay Times covered a normally conservative part of Florida, yet they too supported impeachment despite their reluctance. We harbor no illusions that the president's impeachment by the House will lead to his removal from office by the Senate. But we hope the impeachment process and trial in the Senate will give voters a more complete picture of Trump's conduct, because they will deliver the ultimate judgment on his performance in November, their editorial board wrote. Trump contends the July telephone call was perfect and there was no quid pro quo, but documents and testimony by former and current Trump administration officials show a direct connection. The evidence is clear. The president withheld financial assistance and public support in an attempt to force Ukraine to announce investigations of a political rival and to advance a false narrative about interference in the 2016 election. The piece continued in their assessment of Trump's actions. As Mark Elliott noted, this is only the beginning of those papers agreeing that there is no defense for the president's actions. In fact, no one has shown that better than Republicans in the House, who argued against the process, the witnesses, and the Democrats, but failed to argue that what the president had done wasn't illegal. So y'all check this out. It's going down in the White House, honey. It's going down. And there's a headline that says that Donald Trump is more weak than we think. Said he's more weak than we think, auntie. So Donald Trump is going through a lot. He's going through a lot. But no one feels sorry for him except for his cult. His cult. They still praising him. They still worshiping him. But since we was talking about Giuliani, did I mention Rudy Thug Life Giuliani and his associates and how they bragged about their links to Trump in meeting with Ukrainian gas company? According to the Associated Press, Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, the indicted associates of President Donald Trump's lawyer Rudy Giuliani, boasted about their connections to the president in a meeting with Andrew Favoro. Andrew is the second highest ranking official at Ukraine's state-run gas company. The two men reportedly told him that to secure a deal for liquefied natural gas in Texas, both Andrew's boss and U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Maria Yovanovitch, will have to be ousted from their jobs, both of which occurred within a few months of the meeting. Sorry, these I tell you, boy, rawstory.com is on the money. I'm having alerts just popping up. Parnas and Fruman are facing campaign finance charges for their role in the apparent scheme to use military aid to extort the government of Ukraine into announcing an investigation against former Vice President Joe Biden's family. Giuliani himself is reportedly also on the criminal investigation for the scheme, which forms the basis of the first article of impeachment against the president. And I'm surprised that the president is still claiming to know Rudy Giuliani. He would have been the first person scratched off my list because the man talks too much and he has no control over his tongue. And so earlier we talked about how psychiatrists think that Donald Trump needs to see a neurologist, and also they're saying the same thing about Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Thug Life Giuliani needs to undergo a full battery of neuropsychological testing after the latest unhinged interview. David Rice, a practicing psychiatrist, has raised alarm bells regarding the mental health of Trump's attorney, Rudy Thug Life Giuliani. Giuliani's public behavior indicates that he should have a full battery of neuropsychological testing, Rice said after the former New York mayor's unhinged interview with New York Mean. Rice added that Giuliani's antics were notably more aggressive or suggestive of neurologically based deterioration than Trump's behaviors, many of which can be due to malignant narcissism or other issues. In his latest interview, Giuliani claims to be more of a Jew than Holocaust survivor and billionaire financier George Soros. I'm not even going to get into that because that's another video. He also said that he doesn't trust anyone anymore after his associates who were involved in efforts to dig up dirt on Joe Biden in Ukraine were arrested. Trump's attorney also displayed some odd behaviors over to New York Magazine. As he spoke, he fixed his gaze straight ahead, rarely turning to make eye contact. When his mouth closed, saliva leaked from the corner and crawled down his face through the valley of a wrinkle. He didn't notice, and it fell onto his sweater. Wow, so there you have it, you guys. We put a bunch of idiots in the White House, and they want you to believe, they have you believing that they are children of the Most High Yah, that they are followers of Yeshua HaMashiach. But the Most High Yah is not the author of confusion. I've said it once and I've said it again. So here's a headline that I find interesting. It reads, "Bad news, dimwit. Donald Trump Jr. buried in ridicule over tweet mocking Clinton impeachment." Y'all remember that? Such an idiot. I tell you, these people are idiots. I'm telling you, these people are idiots. And they walk around here like they're the smartest people on God's green earth, like they are the Most High's chosen people. I cannot wait until the Most High reveal the truth to them. How much longer, Most High? How much longer? So Donald Trump Jr. mocked Hillary Clinton during the 2016 campaign because her husband had been impeached, and social media users have not forgotten. The president's eldest son had reacted to Clinton's deplorables remark during the campaign by pointing out that Bill Clinton had been impeached, and he was ridiculed after his father became third president to be impeached in the United States. See, that's why we have to be careful about what we say out of our mouths. The Most High don't like ugly. His tweet said, let me see what this tweet said. "Dear Clinton, you know what's deplorable? Being impeached." That's what Donald Trump Jr. tweeted when Bill Clinton got impeached. "Dear Clinton, you know what's deplorable? Being impeached." And then he hashtag a basket of implorables. This stuff you cannot make up, y'all. I'm serious. These people walk around here claiming to be so smart, and they dumb as hell. This is what's funny to me. I don't know why. I think I'm the only one in my community that's covering these types of stories. Because if this was Barack Obama and his family, oh my God, we wouldn't hear the last of it. We will not hear the last of it. And I think that's my story. I'm ending it right here. Tell me what you guys think. First of all, do you think that Representative Barry Loudermouth and Donald Trump himself committed blasphemy? Do you think they committed blasphemy? Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell so you can get more notifications when I do more videos. It's your girl, B Sparrow. Buzz Tweet Radio. Holla if you hear.